I keep saying over and over again, they are really dragging out Love and Marriage Huntsville. I mean, first of all, they were talking about the housewarming 2 episodes ago. And then the last episode before this one that happened on Saturday, they were at the housewarming. And then this episode starts at the housewarming. I mean, enough is enough. I mean, they're really dragging it all up, and they're really setting up all of these meetups between Tiffany and all of the other people, or between Stormy and some of the other girls, or between Marsu and Tisha meet up with Kiki and Maurice. It's just a bunch of fillers at this point. So this review is going to be very short because it hasn't had major content attached to it. Not like it used to be. Remember the earlier seasons? I mean, every episode was like, oh my goodness. And remember, those were the times when Mel and Martell were still filming together. So when they film this, they're still at a point where they're not filming together. Now watch my review where I talk about Martell Holts shares his regrets about his marriage, and he talks about how they're now filming together again, which leads to a whole nother scenario, right? Because if you watch or you're connected to social media at all, then you know this, yesterday there was a big old incident in Huntsville between allegedly Martell and Marsu, supposedly between Wanda and Mel. I know that Mel went live while they were filming, and one of the producers or someone told her she couldn't go live, and then she said she's going to get back on the live once she was finished filming. And then she reconnected on her social media, her Instagram, and started talking again. But clearly you can hear, while Mel is in the car, you can hear Martell or some male voice yelling. So they were already in the middle of a heated situation. Mel jumps out of the car. She sees that Martell is upset, tells him to stop. She's yelling and screaming, Martell, no, your children are here. So supposedly, allegedly, all of this happened in Huntsville. We saw it on several of the cast members on social media. They gave as much detail as they can, because of course they can't give any detail. Why? Because that's going to be the draw of the whole show. But they all did confirm there was some high energy negative activity outside of, I think it's Madonna, Destiny's business, I guess at the strip mall where Destiny's business is. So even though it's very interesting to see what happens, I'm kind of disappointed, right? Because Huntsville started out as an entrepreneur kind of perspective. We saw them all in business, looking to grow business. They were partnering with each other. We saw their wonderful families, and now this. Oh my goodness. So it's unfortunate that it's going in this direction, right? And one thing about Love and Marriage Huntsville, even if you miss the episodes, if you're on social media, you will find out what happens. And as a matter of fact, the social media posts and lives are more interesting than the show at this point, right? It is wild to see Mel running and trying to stop Martell from whatever he was up to or whoever he was going towards. It was really sad. And then to hear her say, the kids are here, the kids see you. That was really, really sad, very sad for all involved. These are professional Black families, and to see them engaged like this and their reputations, it really is disappointing to see, because, I mean, come on, Mel is a business owner 3 times over, right? Stormy is a successful business owner in CVS and Walmart. Wow, Destiny is launching her businesses and just did an album. Do they say album anymore? I don't even know. I don't even know if they say album. What must it say? Just launch her release. I don't even know what it's not. I know it's not CD. That goes to show you how much I listen to music. And to see this kind of energy and activity because of Miss Wanda, who clearly and has admitted that she's from the other side of the tracks and this is the way she moves. Well, that's not true. That's not the way she moves. She says she talks a lot of smack, but she never expects that people would go physical. In fact, Miss Wanda did a live yesterday, late yesterday. She was at Black. And she was there with Destiny, and she's talking about how there's an incident that happened, and she even indicated that someone poked her in her eye. She didn't say who. Remember, she said she couldn't talk about it. So the juice is they can't talk about it because why? It's going to be good TV. So I hope this is not the beginning of the end of Love and Marriage Huntsville as we know it, because that's not a good look. Why do the reality shows have to turn to violence? There's a lot of ways to be shady and drop tea without being physical. So I'm not liking the way that this is going, but I do know that the episodes are dragging. And I just know one thing, Carlos King has to watch out, because Love and Marriage Huntsville is more interesting on social media. I've never seen a cast that overshares on social media. They tell it all on social media. They love to do interviews. They're very accessible. So we get all the tea in between. So it's kind of like the season never ends, right? Because if you're on social media, you constantly are getting an update. That's the plus about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Hopefully this will not be the end of anyone's relationships. And hopefully, I'm assuming no one was hurt because we didn't hear about any injuries. But still, this is very disappointing. Very disappointing. But we shall see. It's always a risk in reality TV. And let's get right to the review. So we open up. They're still at Jalen's house for the housewarming. And Wanda... Okay, so Wanda is still throwing shade on her son-in-law. It's kind of odd to believe he's her son-in-law anyway. So Marceau and Maurice kind of have a sidebar, and he's talking about he's not going to let anyone hurt his family, and that it's hard because the woman who's trying to get you to invest in her business is also the same woman who is throwing shade. That's what I told you. Wanda knows her assignment. Wanda was brought on here to stir up stuff. Her and Kiki have the same assignment, right? Well, we all know Stormy's assignment is to carry Mel's dirt. But Wanda and Kiki are on here to bring the drama, to bring the ghetto. So that's their assignment. So Wanda's gonna keep talking. I don't ever see Wanda going silent. Remember how Mama Joyce was? Mama Joyce was horrible. And she finally closed her mouth, right? After the passing of Todd's mother, unfortunately. But Mama Joyce was the same way. Wanda is not gonna shut it down. You know why? Wanda loves the attention. Miss Wanda loves the attention. And I think, and I'm just guessing, I haven't measured the posts, I think Miss Wanda has been on social media and done more lives than all of the cast members. She loves that attention. Can you imagine coming from a small town and one day you on a national television program, on a national network? Shoot, and if you already had an ego, that's gonna really feed your ego. And she's all about her fashions, and she was even on the live last night at Black. She was showing off her fashions, her outfit. Someone said they liked her necklace, and she just showed off the whole outfit. So that kind of attention, it makes you worse. It doesn't make you kinder or gentler. So Marceau said that continues to be a problem. And Maurice suggested you got to talk to Tisha, because Tisha has to figure out how to get this under control. And Maurice also suggested that Marceau really talk to Tisha about the guys' trip to Atlanta to make sure she understands and that they're in a good place before he leaves to go to this event. And Marceau said, we are in a good place. There's nothing that we need to work on. Our relationship is solid. So, well, Martell is finally going to take the builder's exam, which is great. As someone who just recently got her real estate license, I passed it the first time. One thing I would have suggested, if he failed it, go right back and take it again, because you're going to lose all that information. So 7 years later, you're starting from scratch. Some of the laws have changed, so it's going to be, a lot more tedious. because you're starting from scratch. But if you fail it and you get another chance to take it, I'm sure you do, I don't know what that timeline is, go right back and take it in 30 days, 2 weeks, whatever that is. Look at your scores and determine where you're missing, where your weaknesses were. But don't wait a whole 7 years, don't wait a year, don't even wait 3 months. Go right back and take it, because you want to take it while that stuff is fresh. Take another month and restudy and really study. And then that way you'll do better. So he's hired a tutor to help him take the builder's test. I don't know how that works, but we'll see. Because it really is about application, right? For any of those tests, it's about scenarios. It's not 1 + 1 = 2. It's about applying a situation and understanding the concept and being able to apply it. That's what they test on. So you're not going to get that unless you understand what you're studying. So anyway, I digress. I keep going. And then what was really revealing, Stormy gave Kiki the side eye when they were at the event later on the show. She said in her confessional that if Kiki is two-faced with Tisha, her own relative, she cannot trust her because they're just acquaintances. So when Kiki approached her to say hello, Stormy gave her the side eye, barely acknowledged her, and said, there's nothing that I want to say. Kiki recognized that this was shade being thrown at her. She recognized that Stormy felt some kind of way, but she didn't understand why. She was confused. And she said, what's going on? I thought we were in a good place the last time I saw you at the pajama party, and I was talking all that, well, she didn't say that, that's me. And I was talking all that smack about my cousin. I thought we were good. So I guess Stormy had a aha moment and realized, wait a minute, and we all should know this. If somebody's coming to you with gossip, how much you want to bet they going to somebody else with your information? It never fails. A gossip is going to gossip on everybody. There's no filter. There's no discernment. There is no respect of person. If they a gossip, if they shady, if they gonna tell all your business, they want to hear all your business, they gonna do it to everybody across the board. So I was really surprised that Stormy kind of had an awakening. I want to see how far that goes though. So we shall see. And Kiki is here, but Kimmi doesn't want anything to do with Kiki either, right? So not only did Stormy shade her, but Kimmi shaded her. So Kiki said, let's go to the side and talk about what's going on. And Kimmi told her, well, I didn't think it was appropriate for you to be talking about Tisha at the pajama party. She wasn't even there. And Kimmi also said that even though me and Tisha are not in the best place, I still love her. And I'm not going to sit around and talk about her. I like Kimmi in that regard because that's an honest move. Normally, when you are on the outs with somebody, what happens? They are ready to talk about you. They are ready to share every backstory, every story in confidence that you shared with them. They are so ready to share it with you. And you know what I love? I love, I'm being funny because I don't. I love when people call and they want to talk about somebody and they say, let's pray on somebody. And that's just a way for them to open the door and tell their business. So it's very commendable that Kimmi has so much class in that regard. Now keep in mind, Kimmi is Team Scott. So she's going to do whatever it takes to protect that quadrant. It's a 4, right? She's going to do whatever it takes to protect that group of 4. Her and her husband, Marceau and Tisha, right? Now, Tisha may not be a person that she would be friends with. Remember some time ago during the reunion, she said, if Tisha was not her family, she would not be her friend. So Kimmi did take the lead and tell her, I wouldn't talk about Tisha, even if we're in a bad place. So you got the wrong one, Kiki. So Kiki was shocked because she thought she came in full blast, ready to take a position, ready to be renewed for next season. And she realized the smart ones in the group say, hey, wait a minute, let me back up. Well, Kimmi always felt that way, but Stormy has now joined the bandwagon. Like, Kiki is dangerous. Stay away from her because she'll talk about me too. So Kiki was very disappointed after she realized that she was just a puppet and a pawn. And then Marceau closes out by talking about Kiki, saying that he does not appreciate somebody trying to destroy his family. And he has grace for Martell, but he does not have grace for Mel or Kiki. You know why he has grace for Martell and he's not going to attack Martell and challenge Martell? Well, I guess that's null and void, right? After last night's incident when they were filming. But when he was filming this episode, he said he has grace for Martell, meaning he can forgive Martell. It's probably because Martell knows where all of the skeletons are hidden, and Martell knows all his secrets, and Martell knows every date and every time. If he did do something out of line in his marriage, Martell knows it all. So that's why he has so much grace for Martell. So it'll be interesting to see what really materialized during yesterday's filming, because that means if the wall between Martell and Marceau is broken and the boy code has been broken and severed, that means all of the dirt is going to start to get leaked out. So we shall see how that goes. But that's just a brief recap, review, commentary for Love and Marriage Huntsville. I tell you, boy, Kiki thought she had a plan and everybody's like, stay away from me. I don't want to be a part of your plan. She was really disappointed that nobody wanted to kiki with her, laugh with her, or continue the gossip on Tisha when she arrived to the party. So she was so disappointed. So we shall see how this turns out moving forward. Hopefully we won't get any more of these filler scenes, but we'll get some real good content. And it's kind of alarming because the preview for the next episode, honestly, it looks like Carlos King paid a bunch of people to show up and bash Marceau. I'm like, who are these people? And why are all of these people in his family marital business? It's not a good look. It is the low of the low. I'm like, Huntsville is that desperate for some tea, for some increase in ratings. I heard the ratings are going down too. That they will bring these random people, and maybe they're not random, maybe they're relatives of Tisha, but all of these people here in their marriage, this is insane. There's only so much a human being can take, Marceau and Tisha can take. Regardless of how you feel about them, they're still human beings, and you know what? They have 3 children. Why is there such a coordinated, calculated effort to bring them down? Is the goal of Love and Marriage Huntsville is to end when it ends in 5-10 years and no one is still married? It is crazy, and I have to say, is it worth it? Wow. So reality TV is one of those things where you get in, you share your products, you grow your businesses, you grow your name ID, and you get out. Because next week's episode looks really tacky in terms of its attack on Marceau and Tisha's marriage. Anyway, we shall see. Fingers crossed. Maybe that's just the editing. We will know more next time. Thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to hit the notification button, the like button, and the subscribe button. Let me tell you, my views have really increased. Thank you so much, board members. But I need you to do me a favor. Before you exit, you gotta hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. It helps with the algorithms and it keeps me moving in the YouTube atmosphere. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.